Zion Williamson found himself in some murky waters. His ex-girlfriend accused him of sexual, physical, emotional, and financial abuse, including rape on 2 separate incidents back in 2020. It's the last thing that he needs now that his career is being rather questionable due to his injuries. But will this be the nail in the coffin for Williamson and his NBA career? And, more importantly, what did he have to say regarding these allegations? The NBA world was shocked to learn that Zion Williamson, the star of the New Orleans Pelicans, has been accused of raping and abusing a woman that he dated from 2018 to 2023. At the start of their relationship, Williamson was part of Duke before he got drafted into the NBA in 2019. And in a lawsuit that was filed on Thursday, the woman provided details of 2 alleged incidents that happened in 2020. According to Jane Doe, the name she is currently going under in this case, Williamson raped her in a Beverly Hills apartment that he was renting at the time. According to the lawsuit, there were 2 incidents that happened on the 23rd of September and the 10th of October in 2020, when Williamson moved to Beverly Hills for training and hired a house in the area. Furthermore, it states that Williamson committed many other acts of criminal violence against his accuser during their relationship, including strangling her multiple times to the point she lost consciousness, suffocating and/or smothering her, beating, kicking, and threatening to kill her and her family members. But the most violent part? Pointing a loaded firearm at her head. The lawsuit is very widely reported, but the most important thing that we need to know about this case is this. These 2 incidents were not isolated. Defendant continued to abuse, rape, assault and batter plaintiff in California and other states, including Louisiana and Texas, until the relationship ended in 2023. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff has suffered severe emotional distress, anxiety, depression, humiliation, loss of sleep, and other physical and emotional injuries. As a further direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff has incurred expenses for medical and psychological treatment, therapy, and counselling. What we know so far is that the plaintiff seeks unspecified damages for 9 causes of action that include assault, sexual battery, domestic violence, burglary, stalking, and false imprisonment. Obviously, it's a very difficult situation for Williamson to be in, especially if he is found guilty, because this is not the first time that he's been accused of domestic violence and abuse in a relationship. We must remind you that Zion dated the adult movie star Mariah Mills, who went on to share a very emotional statement in which she said that Williamson beat and abused her. But on the other hand, this is not the first case, and it's certainly not the last, in which females are trying to exploit a basketball player for his fame and frame him for something he didn't do. I'm not saying Williamson is innocent, quite the opposite. There is an investigation that's being held right now, and to speculate around this matter would be inhumane and low morale actions. It's precisely why the Williamsons' accuser and her attorney, Sam Taylor from the Lanier law firm, want to keep information as limited as possible to the media. When addressing this situation, Taylor said, "Our client and we do not want to litigate this case in the press. That is not our intent. However, I do say this is a very serious case, reflected in the allegations in the complaint. Our client just looks forward to her day in court, where she can talk to a jury of her peers and tell them what happened to her and how bad it was, and see justice against Mr. Williamson." The lawsuit, however, details the accusations made against Zion Williamson, more precisely the incident that happened on or about September 23, 2020. According to it, Williamson's agent picked up the plaintiff from a hotel where her brothers were staying and brought her to Zion's home in Beverly Hills. However, when Zion came home late, the plaintiff told him that she was too tired and she would go to sleep, to which Williamson reacted very fiercely. He said that she couldn't go to sleep without having sex with him. When the plaintiff said no, Williamson pinned her on the bed with her hands behind her back and raped her. After that, she tried to grab the phone and call for help, but Williamson threw it across the room. At this point, the plaintiff recalled the smell of alcohol on Zion's breath. The second case happened on the 10th of October, 2020. On that day, plaintiff told defendant she was considering seeing a friend in San Diego, but Williamson told her that she couldn't go. The thought of the plaintiff leaving with her friend made Williamson very angry, and he threw things in the home, trying to frighten her. But after that, he picked her up, threw her to the ground, and pinned her shoulders down so she could not move. This is when he raped her in multiple ways, and after that, Zion reportedly took her cell phone and laptop and kept them for a period of time so that she could not secure a ride elsewhere, report the assault, or seek medical care. But what was the response of Zion Williamson? He and his attorney took this case very seriously and deny them unequivocally. The allegations, according to Michael Balacio, the attorney of Williamson, are made out of a financial motive, and when elaborating on this to a greater extent, he went on to say, "We take these allegations with the utmost seriousness and we unequivocally deny them. The allegations contained in the complaint are categorically false and reckless. This is the plaintiff's third set of attorneys. This appears to be an attempt to exploit a professional athlete driven by a financial motive rather than any legitimate grievance." According to Balacio, the fact that the plaintiff calls herself a former girlfriend of Zion is utterly wrong. They were never in a relationship, and the accuser never dated, but did maintain a consensual, casual relationship that began more than 6 years ago, when he was 18 years old. Of course, this doesn't take away the fact that Zion could still have performed the acts that he's accused of, but the attorney of Williamson said that the relationship ended years ago, and at no point during or immediately after that relationship did the plaintiff raise any concerns. Only after the friendship ended did she begin demanding millions of dollars. All in all, it's a very serious accusation and it's a very sensitive manner. Therefore, we're reporting what we do know so far. Williamson is innocent until proven guilty, and now it's up to the state of California to prove whether or not the accusations have happened in reality, or they are just a made-up story in order to withdraw money from a very rich player in the NBA. A similar case happened back in 2016, when a plaintiff that also identified as Jane Doe accused the Chicago Bulls superstar Derrick Rose and his friends of drugging and gang raping her at her apartment back in August 2013. The jury deliberated for less than 4 hours and they reached a unanimous verdict. There wasn't enough evidence to support the plaintiff's claims. Whatever the outcome of this case is, it's going to be a dark spot on Williamson's career. Even if he is innocent, the fact that there are 2 separate scenarios in which he's being accused of violence and rape is not boding well for his NBA future. Maybe the Jane Doe in this situation is the adult movie star Mariah Mills, but she went public with her accusations, so there might not be a particular need to hide her identity this time. With all this in mind, what do you think about the latest controversy surrounding Zion Williamson? And, more importantly, do you think this is going to definitely ruin his career? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.